النهارده ان شاء الله ولا صباح الخير. ان شاء الله النهارده we will continue on derivatives, then we will go to anti-derivatives, which is integration. Integration is really very important. It needs a lot of knowledge about differentiation. You have to study differentiation very well, the rules, everything, in order to go smoothly into integration. Okay, it's an anti-derivative process, or you will have to do exactly all these previous steps, but in an opposite manner. Okay. All the course notes, references, everything, you will find it on your internet platform, which is Canvas, and also on YouTube. I will start with you with reviewing the knowledge that we had through differentiation. Starting from the knowledge or from the differentiation or the differentiability at certain point. لو أنا بعمل differentiability at certain point, المين لو أنا أكدت عليك قوي يعني ده بيطلع the rate of change of the independent function with respect to the dependent function. It's really very simple. Limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. The brief definition for this law is the difference in y with respect to the difference in x, especially when the difference in x dies or decays. Decays, it means it tends to 0. Okay, شباب؟ طبعا عندك الجنرال definition f dash of x يساوي limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is also the definition at a certain point, and there is a bunch of interesting problems I will show it to you today on this one. Also, remember, those are the symbols for differentiations that everyone is familiar with. Y dash or f dash of x, dy by dx or df by dx, they are the same, or d by dx for an f of x, or the differential operator, you will see that in ordinary differential equation in the next modules, or d sub x for f of x, that means we are going to perform total derivative for the function f of x with respect to x. Okay, remember the preliminaries of derivative, which are differentiation of a constant equals 0. Derivatives in general can be distributed on sum or difference. They can't be distributed on multiplication or division. Of course, this is the simplest table for the simplest shapes of functions that you will have to know about them. Differentiation of a constant will equal to 0. Differentiation of x is equal to 1. If y equals c of x, y dash is going to equal to c. If you have x to the power of n, remember, you do two things. You do multiplication, then subtraction. Don't you ever forget that. You do multiplication, then subtraction. Okay? So, y equals x to the power of n, y dash will be n times x to the power of n minus 1. And it goes for every value of n. Positive, negative, real, decimal, fractions, whatever. Okay. If you have x in the denominator, x to the power of n in the denominator, you can get it from the denominator simply by adding negative, and you start the same. Logarithmic function derivatives, really very simple. Ln f of x will equal to 1 over x. Can be distributed on sum or difference. If you have multiplication, you will have to follow the multiplication rule, which states derivative of the first function times the second, plus vice versa. For the division version of this law, if you have two functions divided on each other, simply get the square of the denominator, then differentiate the denominator times the denominator minus vice versa. This is mainly the main law that we go through in derivatives. Also remember, if you have sine x, the derivative simply will be cosine x. If you have cos x, the derivative will be negative sine x. Tan x, the derivative will be sec square x. Because cotan x will be negative cosec square x. Sec is going to be sec times tan. Cosec is going to be negative cosec times cotan of x. Also, remember general rules. We did go through them in the previous session. Today they are really very important. The first of them, if you have f of x to the power of n, once you start differentiating, don't you ever forget that you will have how many parts or how many terms? 3 of them. You will have to do 3 steps. They are really very important. First of all, the power will go down, then you will subtract 1 from the power times the derivative of the function inside the bracket. شباب من أخطر ما يمكن. لو أنا عندي bracket مرفوع لباور بعمل derivative كام step؟ 3 of them. باور ينزل step 1. Take one out of the power, step 2. Don't you ever forget. Times the derivative of the function inside the bracket. F dash x. خلي بالك in integration we will do نفس الستبس but in the opposite direction. يعني before integrating وانا هكلمك كده حالا you will have to be sure that f of x inside the bracket already it's differentiation outside it. It's gonna be a condition for integration. هتشوف كمان شويه. انزل عندك الرول الثانيه بتاعت sin f of x. It's really critical rule. The derivative will be cosine f of x. That means you are differentiating that trigonometric function times the derivative of its angle, whatever the function that stands in its angle. So it's going to be multiplied by f dash of x. برضو in a few seconds we will see that it's a condition for integrating any of the trigonometric functions that the derivative of the angle should be exist once you are trying to integrate. If you have cosine, so it's going to be exactly the same. It's just insisting on training you on trigonometric functions. If you have e to the power of f of x, don't you forget, you will have exponential 4 times the derivative of the power. ده تفاضل دالة أسية exponential function. خلي بالك الدالة نفسها times derivative power. وكمان ثانيتين هقول لك ان ده الكونديشن بتاع الفانكشنز دي ان انتجريشن. فاهمني؟ هتشوفوا دلوقتي بالاسلوب اللي انا هوريه لك. لو انا عندي لين f of x is going to be 1 over f of x times f dash x. برضه كمان شويه هيبقى ده كونديشن وهتشوف كمان شويه. من الحاجات اللي احنا المره اللي فاتت عدينا عليها بسرعه او انا ما اتكلمتش فيها المره اللي فاتت مش موجوده في الفيديو بتاع المره اللي فاتت هنا حاجه بسيطه قوي as an application on derivative. If you like, if you need to determine the tangent at a certain point for any function, simply get y dash for this function, substitute by the coordinate of this point at this point, you will get directly the slope, then start to make your straight line, y minus y1 over x minus x1 equal the slope. Or I will show you some steps which is very, very simple in order to get the equation of a straight line, even though if you don't follow the steps of this function, but mainly you will have to get the derivative of the given function. For example, هنا بيقول لك find the equation of a tangent line to a certain parabola which is x squared minus 8x plus 9 at the point x equal to 3 minus 6. First step, I will have to get the slope. Of course, once we are talking about a tangent line, it's a line. So the main equation of a tangent line will be y and x plus a constant. This is an equation or the general equation of any straight line. So, okay, perfect. We need to find that slope and then to define or find the value of c. It's very, very simple. All I have to do, first of all, is to identify m. How to get m? Okay, I will go getting y dash, the derivative of the main function. X squared minus 8 of x plus 9. Derivative again?
2x minus 8.
It's gonna be 2x minus 8. Okay, we need to find the slope at the point which is 3 and negative 6. أعمل إيه؟ 2 times 3 minus 8, which is simply gonna be negative 2. أنا already I have the slope. يبقى الستريت لاين بتاعي في الوضع ده على طول الستريت لاين بتاعي دلوقتي ايدنتيفاي اصبح y equal negative 2x plus a constant. But at the tangency point, both the point of contact will be on both of them, on the curve and on the straight line too. So this is the point of contact. He is asking you about a tangent line at the point. So this point belongs to two things. First of all, the curve. Second, the tangent line. Based on this reality, or on this fact, I can re-substitute by these values. Replace y by negative 6, leave x and replace x by 3. So negative 2 times 3 plus c, which is gonna lead to c will equal to 0. That's in your straight line simply will be y equal negative 2x. This is the tangent line at the point 3 and negative 6. يبقى سهل قوي ان انا اجيب التانجنت بوينت او تانجنت ستريت لاين at certain value، وده mainly اللي انا بحتاجه in differentiation. I can differentiate, substitute, get the slope, start substituting in the straight line. You need to identify the constant, which is simply going to be by substitution. Or you can use this function or this form of a straight line. It will give you the same result. Instead, get first the slope, but instead of substituting in your straight line, I can substitute in this equation. Simply, it's going to be y minus y1, which is going to be 6 divided by x minus x1, x minus 3, is going to equal to negative 2. Let's try to simplify it. You will have the same answer. It's going to be y equal to negative 2x plus 6 minus 6. They will eat each other. And this is the slope that you are seeking, which is exactly like this equation. الاسهل بالنسبه لك عامل يا اما ان انا اجيب السلوب وبعدين اكتب الجنرال ايكويشن بتاعت الستريت لاين. اي ريكومند ذس وان على طول مجرد انك تعمل سبستيتيوشن بالبوينت جدا. على فكره انا نفسي ممكن ادي لك نفس البروبلم دي بس مش ادي لك البوينت. اقول لك find the tangent blah 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 at x equal 3. طب في الحاله دي تعمل ايه؟ في الحاله دي تعمل ايه؟ انت عارفه ايه الديفرنس؟ ايه الديفرنس؟ مش اديتك البوينت، انا اديتك الاكس كوردينيت. تعرف تكملي نفس المساله؟ طبعا. ازاي؟ هاخد البوزيتيف 3 دي واعمل بيها سبستيتيوشن في المين فانكشن. لما اعمل سبستيتيوشن في المين فانكشن يبقى كده على طول اوتوماتيك هطلع الفاليو اوف مين؟ اوف واي وامشي نفس الستبس وانت معرض لحاجه زي كده. البروبلمز دي لذيذه قوي سهله مفيش فيها اي مشاكل واتس. طبعا هتلاقي السوليوشن بتاعك موجود بالظبط، ده اللي هتلاقيه في السلايدز اللي موجوده عندك on canvas. Already get f dash, then substitute by the x coordinate, get the slope, start substituting in this equation, you will get y equal negative 2x and you are done. This is really very tricky. He is asking you about the definition. The definition of differentiability at a point. In order to find the derivative of a certain function at a specific point, you will have to use this law. لما يقول لك استخدم القانون او يخبطك سؤال زي ده انت هتبقى مجبر انك تمشي على الديفينيشن. لو حضرتك تتذكر المحاضره اللي قبل اللي فاتت انا اتكلمت على الديفينيشن، وريتك اكس وريتك 2 اكس. المره اللي فاتت عديت عليه بسرعه، بعدين مشيت بقى ايه في التيبل بتاع الديفرنشيشن الجنرال رولز اللي احنا بنستخدمها على طول. بس السؤال ده فيري فيري تريكي. وانس ان هو موجود عندك في الكانفاس او موجود عندك في البي دي اف بتاعك ده معناه انك معرض لاسئله من النوع ده. والاسئله دي سهله جدا بس محتاجه انك تفكر ثانيه واحده او تبقى فاهم اللوج اللي انت بتشتغل. الاف داش خلي بالك هو بيقول ايه؟ بيقول f dash at a، يعني لو انت عايز تجيب السلوب at x equal to a it's really very simple. All you have to do is to get limit x tends to a for f of x main function minus f of a at the value of a divided by x minus b. طبعا انا بجيب الديريفاتيف from a limit. مستر خالد لو انت عملت substitution هتلاقي f of a minus f of a which is simply going to be 0 divided by a minus a which is also going to be 0. So solving this limit will develop the result or the differentiation. خلي بالك بقى هنا في السؤال ده اقرا معايا كده بيقول ايه؟ خلود بيقول f of x is differentiable عشان يعرفك انك تقدر تستخدم انها continuous صح كده؟ وانك تقدر انك توجد الديريفاتيف عندها. بيقول at x equal a at x equal a then evaluate in terms of f dash limit x tends to a f of x minus f of a على x cubed minus b cubed. طيب اعمل اللعبه دي ازاي؟ فيرست اوف اول معلوماتك انت ان اف داش a هو بيساوي ليميت x tends to a f of x minus f of a على x minus a. What is the difference between this form and that form؟ الصدمه. ايه الديفرنس بين الفورم دي والفورم دي؟ ها بص كده هنا x minus مين؟ بس هنا مين؟ مش ينفع. انا عارف ان لو الفورمه دي عندي اقدر اشوف احط مكانها مين؟ اف داش اي صح؟ لو الشكل ده عندي اقدر اشيله واحط مكانه مين؟ اف داش ايه. try to build the same shape of this function. طب هعمله ازاي؟ يبقى انا عايز to get rid of x cube minus a cube و replace it by x minus e. هعمل ده ازاي؟ بسيط. اروح جاي قايل له ايه؟ ادي limit x tends to a of f of x minus f of a divided by x cube minus a cube. You can factorize it. If you remember the factorization of x cube minus a cube. It can be factorized simply to be in the form x minus a times x squared plus a squared plus a times x. ده الفاكتورايزنج بتاع this denominator. لو انا فكيته بالشكل ده كده خلي بالك اقدر اخلي الليمت limit x tends to a of f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a times انا هحط limit x tends to a of 1 divided by x squared plus ax plus a squared. Any questions?
Can't you just do f of x to the power of -2 minus f of a to the power of -2 over x minus a?
You can multiply. If I hear you correctly, or you're asking if I can multiply by x minus a over x minus a?
No, multiply the numerator, cancel the
X cube, you mean?
yeah, cancel the cube root by doing -2 power to the numerator. Okay?
No, you can't.
Okay.
No. It has a factorization rule. It has to be factorized this way. This is completely different than perfect cube, which is x minus e to the power of 3. It's completely different. Okay?
In brackets the power of
No, it's not gonna equal to it. Okay, شباب معايا؟ Yusuf, I think you are talking about this form, x minus e to the power of 3. Yes? No, they are not the same.
Can't do that.
No, you can't. X cubed minus a cube, its factorization will be, if you need to get a difference between two cubes, the rule تبقى كده. If I have x cubed plus a to the power of 3, it can be factorized to x plus a times, declare x squared plus a squared minus a times x. There is no 2. You don't multiply in 2. Right. If you have x cubed minus a to the power of 3, it's gonna be x minus a times x squared plus ax plus a squared. Remember, if you have negative sign, it's going to be positive, and vice versa. This is the factorizing of a perfect cube, or a difference between two cubes. Okay? طيب لما أنا عملت الفactorization Mr. Yusuf, are you convinced with this form? الكلام ده صح؟ صح. لأن طبعا أنا limit مش multiplied in all this value. احنا عارفين limit is a logical statement. فأنا خدت الجزء الأولاني times limit x tends to a over 1 x squared ax plus a squared. We don't have to exert an extra effort. All of this value is simply f dash at a stated from the main law times replace every x by a, which is going to be 1 over 3 a squared. This is the derivative of this function or the differentiation of f of x at a. ده الفاليو اللي انت هتطلع عندك 1 over 3 a squared times f dash of a. خدت بالك انا اصلا ما عنديش f of x فما اقدرش اوجد الديريفاتيف بتاعها، لكن انا وجدت الجنرال رول فور ذس فورم f of x minus f of a over x cube minus a cube. معايا يا شباب؟ اوكي؟ المساله دي مهمه قوي، خلي بالك منها. خلي بالك انا وريتك النهارده كات ممكن استخدمه. خلي بالك انا ما عملتش مساله ليميت. انا جاست يوزد الديفينيشن اللي المفروض ان انت ايه؟ عارفه. اوكي بيرفكت. لو عايز تصور صور. ما كانش هي موجوده ريكوردد. نفس الفكره دي هو ممكن يديها لك في دي. بص على المساله هي نفس الكلام بالظبط. ايه الديفرنس؟ هنا هي stating limit x tends to x naught sin x square minus sin x at x naught square. Of course, x sub 0, it means a particular point. It's like a. But f of x is the general function. Okay? Divided by x minus x naught. Same way like. I need to see this form. I need to see this form from that form. How to do it? أنا محتاج أخلي الفانكشن اللي تحت أو الشكل اللي تحت يبقى أقرب ما يكون للشكل اللي فين؟ اللي فوق. لأن معلوماتي إن لو أنا عندي f of x minus f of a over x minus a taking the limit from x tends to x naught or a or whatever أقدر to replace with f dash. طيب what's missing؟ أنا شايف إن هنا في مين؟ وشايف هنا مين؟ I need to see in the denominator x to the power of 2 minus x naught to the power of 2. Any ideas? Any ideas how to get this form? أنا معلش هنا x minus x naught. أنا عايزه x square minus x naught square. How to get it? See, limit x tends to x naught. This is a sine of an x square minus a sine of x naught square, which is divided by x minus x naught. Okay, why not trying to multiply by x plus x naught divided by x plus x naught? Actually, I'm not going to change anything because I'm multiplying on the same quantity on both denominator and denominator. That's what we are going to gain. هنكسب ان انت اصبح عندك دلوقتي sin الفانكشن minus sine x naught to the power of 2, which is exactly correct. خلينا نمسحها كده تاني عشان بس ما نحصلش لخبطه. اهو ادي الساين بتاع x naught to the power of 2. خلي بالك التو denominators لما نضربهم ببعض هيدي لك x square minus x naught square. So you are getting the same, almost the same rule over there. Times the remaining bracket, which is x plus x naught, and this is the limit of x tends to x naught. I will repeat. For this part, we are already done. This part will be f dash of x naught. For that part, we'll develop 2 of an x naught. So actually, ده اللي بيحصل لما انت differentiate sin square. حد differentiate sin square كده؟ لو انا عندي sin x to the power of 2 ده y، حد يجيب y dash؟ هيديها كوزاين x سكوير، بس مش تنسى في مين؟ يعني ده الديريفاتيف بتاع واتس انسايد ذس فانكشن. اهو انا ده اللي انا عملته بالظبط. اصبح دلوقتي ادي 2 x نوت تايمز اف داش بتاع مين؟ بتاع x نوت. هي مين الاف اوف اكس اصلا؟ هنا مين الاف اوف اكس؟ انا هنا مديهولك اكس سكوير. يبقى اذا ده معناه ان انا هشيل الفانكشن بس، يعني ده معناه كوزاين بتاع مين؟ اكس سكوير تايمز مين؟ 2x naught, exactly the general form of if you are differentiating. حركوا معايا؟ اوكي بيرفكت. برضه دي نقطة مهمة قوي، هي بعيدة عن ان انا الفكر العام ان انا بوجد الديريفاتيف وبعدين بعمل سبستيتيوشن وبيسألك على اللو اوف ديفينيشن او الديفينيشن بتاع ديفرنشيشن. طبعا مع الكلام ده او في الجزء ده انت ممكن to be asked انه يجي يقول لك using definition. يعني بص خليك معايا كده برضه من الكويستشنز اللي انت ممكن تشوفها. ايه اللي حصل؟ اوكي، من الاسئله اللي ممكن تشوفها حاجه زي ده. مثلا هنا asking you using the definition try to find y dash of y equal to x squared. في الوضع ده he is testing you about this law limit x tends to limit h tends to 0 for f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. ده كده y dash using the definition. كده لازم تستخدم القانون بتاع الليمت. وطبعا تمشي في اللو بالليمت. ولو تفتكر انا قلته مش الليكتشر اللي فاتت، الليكتشر اللي قبليها. لازم تمسك الاف اوف اكس اللي انا مديها لك اللي هي واي بيساوي اكس سكوير. تجيب الاول اف اوف اكس بلس اتش، بعدين تجيب اف اوف اكس، بعدين تعمل ديفيجن اون اتش، بعدين سبستيتيوت. وتقدر تطلع الفاليو بتاعتك. ارجوك بص على المحاضره دي اللي اتكلمت فيها على الجزء بتاع الديفينيشن. وده لو جالك في الامتحان هيجي لك 1 بوينت. ان يجي 1 بوينت سؤال واحد. انك يوزنج الديفينيشن. فتقدر انك تريفيو وانس مور. ايه اللي بيحصل؟ هو ليه بيلف كده؟ انا بدوس غلط على حاجه ولا ايه؟
غالبا في حد بيكونكت عليه غلط.
ممكن. يا جماعه. اوكي. تمام. قول.
Cos x squared, what's the rule for it?
Cosine.
Cos x squared, how do you find the derivative?
Derivative?
Yeah,
You will differentiate cosine first, which is going to be negative sine of the angle times the derivative of that angle. Okay? الجنرال رول بتاعت الديريفاتيف خلي بالك general rule for differentiation for any trigonometric functions. Let's say y equal sine of an x squared plus 4x minus 5. If I want to get y dash, first of all I will have to differentiate sine, which is gonna be cosine. This is the derivative of the main function. Times its angle, which is x squared plus 4 of x minus 5. Times the derivative of the angle by itself, which is gonna be 2x plus 4. طبعا ده ابلكيشن على المين رول اللي احنا اديناه المره اللي فاتت. y بيساوي sine over f of x. y dash will be cosine f of x times f dash x. ده الديريفاتيف بتاعنا. وده هيبقى condition for integration نتكلم فيه دلوقتي. معايا يا شباب؟
This is for every
condition. For every trigonometric functions.
only trigonometry. Only trigonometry.
No. Trigonometric functions, if you have function to a power, if you have a arithmetic function, if you have exponential function, this is what's gonna happen. Okay. أنا قلت ده قبل ما أنت تيجي. تعال بقى معايا كده. حد يقول لي أحل دي إزاي؟ y بيساوي x square minus 8x plus 9 at x equal 3. y equal x square minus 8x plus 9 at x equal 3. مظبوط عشان نجيب السكند كوردينيت. يبقى فيرست اوف اول اول ما اجي احل البروبلم دي سهله قوي. اول ستيب انا عايز كوردينيتس اكس اند واي. انا عندي الاكس بس. يبقى فيرست اوف اول واي at x equal to 3 is going to equal to 3 to the power of 2 minus 8 times 3 plus 9. 3 to the power of 2 is going to be positive 9. Positive 9 is going to be 18 minus 27. I think it's going to be negative 9. مش كده برضو؟ يبقى دي البوينت بتاعتي إذا ما كنتش غلطان في السبستيوشن. 3 ونيجاتيف مين؟ 3 ونيجاتيف 9. يبقى دي ستيب نمبر 1. ستيب نمبر 2 أنا عايز السلوب at this point. In order to get the slope of this function at that point, all I have to do is to get the derivative. Differentiate, Mr. Yusuf.
2x minus 8.
2x minus 8. Then start substituting by 3. يبقى y dash is going to equal to 6 minus 8, which is going to be negative 2. For any straight line, any tangent line, the general equation of a straight line, which is mx plus a constant. Now you have m. So the function or the straight line will be y equal negative 2x plus a constant. Then use the coordinates of this point and substitute in the straight line equation. Replacing y with negative 9 negative 2 times 3 plus c. That's c will equal to negative 3. So your tangent line is gonna be y equal negative 2x minus 3. انت جبت التانجنت لاين وانت معرض لمساله زي كده في اقدس الابلكيشن. الستبس بتاعتها واضحه؟ ها في مشاكل مع اي حد؟ اوكي. طبعا كان ممكن بدل ما اعمل ده كله كان ممكن اعمل كده. اقول y minus y node over x minus x node equal m. That's y minus 3 is going to equal to negative 2 divided by x minus 3 and start multiplying or getting cross multiplication. We'll have the same result. Okay? Done. طيب برضه بص هنا I want to differentiate this function x to the power of 8 plus 12x power 5 minus 4x power 4 10x cubed minus 6 plus 5. حد يقول الديريفيتيف بتاعها على طول؟
8x to the 7 plus
8x power 7 60x to the power 4
minus
16x power 3
plus
30x to the power of 2 minus 6. If you are asked to get y double dash y triple, it's going to be the same. You would just simply differentiate the first derivative to get second, differentiating the second to get the triple derivative, and so on. Okay, done. دلوقتي أنا هكلمك على lecture number 10, first part of it, which is integration. Integration is really very important. Integration, simply, it's the anti-derivative process. Or if you have differentiation and you want to regain the shape of the main function, you can use integration. There are plenty of integration rules. Usually, I make an example between derivative and integration. Any function whatsoever you can differentiate, but not all the functions you can integrate. Shabab, differentiation or derivatives, it's like driving forward. Integration is like driving backward. Everyone simply can drive forward, but it's really need a lot of experience to drive backward. معايا؟ النقطة اللي بتفرق موضوع انك to drive forward or to drive backward in integration you will have to repeat yourself on the same track. يعني تطلع لقدام ده differentiation. ترجع لورا بس على نفس التراك بالظبط. ده الانتجريشن. عشان كده every function has derivatives, but not all of them have integration. This is the knowledge you will have to understand. Okay, applications is anonymous for integration. Integration بيعمل summation. Integration بيعمل عملية تجميع. أكني بكولكت the value of a function with a certain interval. يعني لو عندي f of x و it's defined from a to b, أكني بجيب ال values of this function at each point within this interval and I'm getting the sum of all of them. It's a huge capability for integration. طبعا applications, a lot of things. Surface area, arc length, potential, position for velocity and acceleration, area under a curve, volume, flux, work can be applied in plenty of STM applications, including science, technology, not just only engineering, in a lot of applications. Okay, integration is the antiderivative of a function. If you have f of x plus any number plus a constant, this is general rule for f of x. F dash x, if you differentiate, you will get f dash x. If you get d by dx, for any function f of x, you will get f dash x. In integration, we want to move back from f dash x to the general form, which is going to be f of x plus. طيب طبعا احنا هنتكلم دلوقتي على الديفينيت انتجريشن. الديفينيت انتجريشن او الانتجريشن ساين ان جنرال هي عباره عن البتاع اللي هي عامله زي عارف لما بتعلق اللحمه او تعمل شوكه كده فاهم؟ دي علامه الانتجريشن، ده الانتجريشن ساين. اوكي؟ ده معناه we will integrate function f dash of x with respect to this variable, with respect to this variable only. طبعا لما اعمل integration ده هيلد للمين function of f dash of x which is f of x. You will have to add a constant. You will have to say there is an arbitrary constant. يعني ايه arbitrary constant؟ يعني ثابت اختياري. يعني ايه ثابت اختياري؟ يعني maybe there is a number we don't know exist in this function. يعني وارد جدا الاف داش اكس ترجع لاف اوف اكس، بس ممكن يبقى مجموعه او مطروح منها رقم انا ما اعرفوش. طب ليه ما اعرفوش؟ لان لو في هنا ارقام وانت عملت ديريفاتيف الفاليو بتاعت الرقم ده بيروح بكام؟ بزيرو. مثال تاني، خليني انا همشي فورورد وبعدين نرجع باكورد. لو انا عندي اكس سكوير بلس 3، اكس سكوير ماينس 3، اكس سكوير ماينس 1000، اكس سكوير بس. differentiate all of these functions. هات الديريفاتيف بتاع all of these functions. هيبقى بكام؟ 2x. That's it. If I want to integrate, it's gonna be, but actually, which one of them? The first, second, third, fourth, simply we don't know. صح؟ ما اعرفش. لذلك لازم اقاد هنا مين؟ لازم احط هنا مين؟ A constant of integration. يبقى خلي بالك لو انا عندي اكس سكوير بلس 3، اكس سكوير ماينس 3، اكس سكوير ماينس 1000، اكس سكوير بس. كل دول الديريفاتيفز بغض النظر عن ازاي بعمل ديريفاتيف او انتجريشن، مش بنعمل الشكل ده دلوقتي. لو انا عملت دول كلهم ديريفاتيف، انت بتعرف تعمل ديريفاتيف، هيطلع لك بكام؟ ب 2x. اتفقنا مع بعض ان الديريفاتيف سوري انتجريشن ذا انتي ديريفاتيف، صح كده؟ يعني ال 2x دي ترجع تبقى كام؟ x squared. But actually which one of them? plus 3 ولا minus 3 ولا negative 1000 ولا positive 1000 ولا اصلا مش كان في نمبر؟ ما نعرفش. لذلك لازم ازود الكونستنت اوف انتجريشن. خلي بالك لو الانتجريشن ساين doesn't have limits، يعني ما عنديش ليميتس وبس العصايه كده، ده بيطلق عليه indefinite integration. ولازم تحط مين؟ كونستنت اوف انتجريشن. لو ما حطيتوش تخلص. يعني لو حليت المساله صح كوريكت عملت انتجريشن مظبوط، بس مش قادر بلس سي، لازم تخلص. لازم